So ultimately, the goal is to get your product to sell. Okay. Like, let's be for real. The goal is to actually make money from the digital product. It's not to just say that you have a product, it's not to say that you have a digital business or that you're a digital CEO. It's to make money from it. So let's talk about a few pricing strategies that has helped me in my pricing strategy, and some ways that some of our biggest brands are using psychological triggers to get you to buy based on strategic pricing. If you are new here, my name is Treviana, and I post videos about how I made my first sale and how I'm making consistent sales online, like you see here on the screen. And I literally give you all of the tips and the tricks and the tools that I have been using that have been successful in, and some of the ones that I have not been as successful in. I started in digital products back in 2019, and I say that loosely because I just created my first digital product back in 2019. I didn't sell anything until 2024. I sold very minimal, right? Like, y'all, it was literally like I told my mother, my sister, my cousins, that I had a journal out, and co-workers even, that I had a journal out and they purchased, but it was not like actually a digital business. And so I didn't start making real money until just recently, when I started strategizing and actually implementing my strategy and the things that I'm learning. So I created this channel to be able to share those things with you. So if you are working on selling digital products online, wanting to get into digital marketing, you don't know where to start, you don't know where to finish, like you lost in the sauce, this is going to be the channel for you. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button now, like this video, and at the end, I want you to tell me what was your biggest takeaway of this video. All right, so let's just get right into it. If you have ever been to a store and you have seen a pricing of like $9.97 or $9.99 or $19.97 or $39.99 as opposed to $40, right? I want you to comment me down below. What that is called is charm pricing, and the biggest brands use it as a psychological trigger to make you feel as though you are getting a discount. Whether it is 2 cents, 1 cent, 5 cents, 1 cent, 2 cent, 5 cent, dollar, dollar. Y'all know that song? Okay, reel it in. But regardless of how much the discount is, we feel, right? Our brains are triggered and wired to feel like we are getting a deal or a discount. So because we are emotional buyers naturally, and then we justify with logic later, it doesn't matter like if that is our last $10. If this thing is $7.97 and it's not $8, I'm gonna go ahead and grab it because it could be $8. If this thing is $9.99, right? It just looks cheaper, right? It looks cheaper than the $10 when in actuality it's not. That is called charm pricing. We have all been victim of charm pricing. And I want you to think about charm pricing when you are structuring your prices for your digital products, right? Charm pricing is not a way to get over on anybody, because when you think about it, you're not really getting over on anybody, right? It's just the way that our brains work. And if you do not understand how the brain works, especially in buyer psychology, it's going to be hard for you to get things sold. Okay. So understand that it's just buyer psychology. Consider using charm pricing when structuring your pricing structure for your digital products. Okay, so let's talk about the compromise effect. The compromise effect is essentially when you have a layered or a tiered pricing structure. So, for example, if I had a course that was $19.99 and that was just level one of the course, and then I had level two, three, and four of the course at, I don't know, let's say $29.99. But then you can get the entire course, all 10 lessons, at $49.99 or $89.99, right? more than likely the person that is purchasing is going to invest in either the middle tier or the higher tier. More than likely, it's going to be the middle tier because they're going to feel like they're getting more than what they would get or pay for at the lowest tier. And they're not getting all of what they feel like they can consume in the higher tier. So they feel like the middle price, the middle option is the best option. So when you are offering your digital products, I want you to consider the compromise effect. They feel like they are compromising when they choose the middle option as opposed to the lower or the higher, right? So layer your digital products. Now, don't go crazy because when people have too many options, they don't make any decision. They don't make any buying decision. Have you okay, so like for me, y'all, when I order from anywhere, when I order from Amazon, when I order from Target, if I'm ordering from Shein, if I have too many things, if I spent too long on the site and I've already put too many things in my cart, I have to step away from it for a minute, right? Because for some reason it just feels a little bit overwhelming. Do y'all feel that way too, or is it just me? Right? It just feels a little bit overwhelming. I have to then come back to it a day, 2, 3, 4, 5 days later. And when I'm like not thinking about it to then make a decision on what I want to buy. So you don't want your customers to feel overwhelmed, but you want to give them the options to be able to make the best informed decision for themselves. Whether it's the lower tier, the middle tier, or the higher tier, they have an option. Don't go more than three options or three bundles or three tiers because, like I said, you don't want to confuse them, but give them the option. You'll have some people that'll get the lower ticket item, you'll have some people that'll get the higher ticket item, but then you have the compromise effects where people will feel like if I get the middle option, I'm getting the most bang for my buck. That is called the compromise effect. Okay, so if you are just wanting to get straight to it and you want to know every single tactic that I have learned over the last 4 years, then click the link down in my description box below. I created an ebook called 100 Ways to Guarantee Your First Sale. And it is many of the ways that I have actually implemented in my own strategy to make consistent sales online. So whether you are a beginner, an intermediate, or if you feel like you are an expert, there might be things in there that you have never considered. So go ahead, click the link down in the description and grab the 100 Ways to Guarantee Your First Sale ebook. So if you've ever walked into a store or been shopping online and you see that a product is discounted and you'll see the original price with a line through it and then what the discounted rate is, that is called anchoring. The reason why brands do that is because psychologically our brains automatically compare prices, okay? Automatically. You're not trying to compare or not compare prices. Your brain just automatically does it, right? And so the brands do that because they know that our brains work that way, and that if they show the original price next to what the discounted rate is, that'll make the product look and seem more appealing and more affordable, right? Because the truth of the matter is that they could just put the discounted rate. They don't even have to put what it was before, but they do that because as humans, our brains automatically compare prices. So, in order to have their digital product or their product or whatever it is seem more appealing and more affordable to the buyer, they use something called anchoring. Now, I want you to consider using anchoring with your digital product, but I also want you to be strategic when you are using it, right? Because you remember you have a goal on where you are trying to reach. So, in your anchoring, I want you to remember what your goal is. And then, yes, offer your customers a discounted rate to your product, but also make sure that at the end of the day, you are reaching your goal, right? You are getting to the place that you want to get to. It's always great, especially in the beginning, to offer the anchoring strategy because when you have a new product, it's always best to kind of warm people up to the new product so you can actually start making sales. So it's okay to give it at an insanely discounted rate. Like I did my ebook in the beginning, I charged $9.97 for it, $9.97 if you got it the first week that it dropped. But now it's not at that price anymore. It is still very highly discounted, but it's not at that price anymore. So I want you to consider anchoring in your digital product pricing strategy. That is it for this video, you guys. I hope that you guys found value per usual. If you did, make sure that you subscribe. Go ahead and hit subscribe and like this video. Comment down below what was your biggest takeaway, what you learned from this video. You guys know that I love engaging with you and I love knowing that you guys are getting value from this video. So I hope to see you guys in the community, but if not, I will most certainly see you on the next video. Bye, guys.